Brothers and sisters, we were talking about the documents that cause us to be in physical slavery based on a bond where you have your ancestors, who is your mother and father's name on that particular document, their maiden name and their marriage name. Now, this document belongs to the state of wherever you reside, Maryland or New York, wherever you reside, you have a birth certificate wherever you were born at. This birth certificate has a seal on it of a other entity that have a claim over you. For in any case, it could be Virginia, wherever you were born, as I said. But the prophet says this. Now listen to this, Moors. Under magistrate and subject, the prophet is the chief magistrate of he's a fiduciary over his movement. He tells how things work and enforce laws on things that are not actually happening to make you free. So he says this. First you have to do this. O thou who art the favorite of heaven. We're talking about the kingdom of heaven. O thou who art the favorite of heaven, who the sons of men, thy equal, has agreed to raise to sovereign power and sit as a ruler over themselves. Consider the ends of thy importance of their trust for more than the dignity and the heights of their station. So here the prophet is in his paragraph on chapter 39, he's talking about magistrate and subject, how you to be ruled over yourself by being a solvent Moorish American person. How do you do that? By proclaiming the uppercase straw man. You the real physical man. The physical man going to claim what? The unphysical man, who is a straw man, who is attached to you based on a series of numbers and a document that houses that particular number of your estate. You have to claim that straw man through a process, first coming into the Moorish Science Temple. We're talking about the real physical man. The Negro is not a man. Black is not a man. Color is not a man. There's no such people. So you have to know what? Your nationality and birthrights in order to claim your straw person who is attached to you based on a what? A deed. A birth certificate. Someone has ownership over you, a part of your estate. You do that through what? The Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics that was created by the Grand Sheikh Richardson Dingle-Eel, who filed in the United States government his certificate of registration saying that he's the first Moroccan that registered in America under this process. And he says for us to do the same. To go into them that knows the law and talk to them in an intelligent tone and tell them who you are and what you come to claim through a process called the Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics, a registration and nationalization and naturalization process. You are to proclaim your nationality and birthrights in Act 6 of the Moorish Constitution here. Act 6. The prophet teaches us in Act 6. Islam. Let me read Act 6 to you, Moors. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching people their nationality and divine creed that they must know that they are part and parcel of this said government and know that they are not Negro, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names was given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during this time of slavery. But this is a new era time now. We're talking about a new era time now, and what we have to do, we must do this. All men, it says, not persons, not people, not Negro, colored, or black. It says here, all men now must proclaim their free national name and be recognized in the government by which they live and the nations of earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, sent Noble Drew Ali, made Noble Drew Ali, or ordained Noble Drew Ali as the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. And the Moorish Americans are the descendant of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. So the prophet is telling us what he got here. We must proclaim our what? Birthrights, nationality, through his process. And this is set up by the Grand Sheikh, who the successor of the prophet in the first form. Grand Sheikh Richardson Dingwall set that process up for us to claim our nationality and birthrights. This is what he's recognized in the government, through the United States military, through the Justice Department. He registered with all the departments, the Bureau of Vital Statistics, the Social Security Department, the Bureau of Vital Records, the National Archives, the General Services Administration in Washington, D.C. Each and every one of us Moors have to claim our straw man and put it in, and you claim your straw man through that process by what? As you being the real person. The Negro is the fictional person, the frictional person. He's not the real person. So you have to, in order to be a real person, you have to proclaim your nationality based on what? Your bloodline, your genealogy. The real man is stepping up, claiming the straw man who is attached to you. This, like I said before, this is a process when you come into the Moorish Science Temple and take that process and register it in the government in which they live, in the military. Why I say the military? Because after the Civil War, all that chattel property became protected by the military, the conquering army, the Republic Army. That was an army under Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. We won the war. So we supposed to have been given our birthrights and not be attached to anything under the Europeans' corporate law. We're returning back to what? Our Islamism, which is the kingdom of heaven. Islam, brothers and sisters, thank you for listening to me. And we'll take in another episode, we'll do another subject to go further into what it is that we as Moorish Americans, why we have to come into the kingdom of heaven, which is Islamism. Nothing else matters. Nothing else works for us, because this is what our ancestors left us. The divine creed of Islamism through the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam, peace, and talk to you again, and have a great day. Islam.